Hey there, Kym Tolson, LCSW, the traveling therapist, also the founder of Bill Like a Boss. I'm here to answer your questions and help you in your insurance billing journey. A question I get all the time is, how do I negotiate rates with the insurance company? How do I go about getting a raise? I'm going to walk you through a presentation. Let me know if you have any questions. I always answer every single comment, so please leave questions if you want to know more. Let's talk about how to negotiate a raise with the insurance companies. You can find me on Instagram at the traveling therapist underscore Kym or on Facebook. If you search Bill Like a Boss, I'll come up. Hit the subscribe button so you can watch more videos like this if you need help with your insurance billing. Negotiating the contracted rate with an insurance company. There's two ways you can do this. You can do it before signing the contract or after you sign the contract. Before signing the contract can be a challenging process, especially since the insurance companies typically do have standard rates that they start a clinician out with, and it's based on location, licensure type, the type of provider that you are. So requesting before you sign the contract can be challenging at times because usually based on the state, the licensure, they've got set rates they start people out with. But you can ask, you can try before you actually sign the contract. And if you've already signed the contract, you can ask for a rate increase. Usually every year, definitely you can ask for one. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months after you've signed your contract. So I always tell people, mark your calendar, make sure you remind yourself 2 months, 6 months to go and ask for that raise. You can ask the insurance companies in the contracting process, how quickly can I request a rate increase? So you can ask that question, mark your calendar, and make sure that you follow up every single year on that same date to make sure you're getting all the money that you can get for each of these sessions that you're doing with the insurance company. And with all that being said, there are some strategies that you can employ to attempt negotiation at better rates with the insurance company. So, first, we want to start with just understanding your position as a clinician. You need to assess your value. You can understand the unique value that you bring to the network. So, this could include specializations that you have, any certifications, anything outside of the regular licensure that everybody else in your area would have. So, anything that helps you stand out and appear different. Your location, so let's say you're in a rural area and maybe there's no clinicians in that area that offers in-person sections. You would want to mention that. Or if you're the only one that does brain spotting within 200 miles, you'd want to mention something like that in your letter to them and really try to figure out what gap you fill in that network. If you look online and you see that there's no eating disorder specialist anywhere in the state, you can definitely say that, and that helps your case when you're asking for a rate increase because they want providers like that to refer to. They don't want to pay out of network. So they want to be able to find people like you to send their members to. And then market research. You want to go in Psychology Today, look for other providers in your area that might be doing something similar. You can reach out to them. You can ask them, how are your rates with this insurance company? Are they in this range, like 125 to 150? For a 90837 or more or less, you can kind of get a general idea by reaching out to people. You could also go into my free Facebook group called Insurance Billing for Telehealth Practitioners, and you can ask in there. You don't want to ask the exact rate because most of the insurance companies have it built into their contracts that you're not allowed to share your rate, which all of us know is just a way to keep us from knowing how much everybody else is making. But anyway, you can ask a range. That's not a contract violation. And then you can get an idea like this rate that they started me out at. Is this the normal rate? Is this what everybody's already getting paid? Or should I ask for an increase based on this research everybody else is telling us? And then you want to prepare your case. You can gather data on your practice's costs, the quality of care that you provide, patient outcomes that you've seen based on the evidence-based modality that you do, and any other relevant information that supports your request for higher rates. Even something like fairhealthconsumer.org, that's a website you can go to and you can research CPT codes in certain locations to see what the average payout is for those CPT codes. And you can use that information to say, this is the average in this area. You're offering me this. Everybody else is making this. So I would like to be at least meeting the average rate that's offered in this area. So if you could cite sources like that, that's super helpful as well. And then initiating your negotiations. So you would contact the insurance company. This can be before you sign the contract or after. You can reach out to provider relations. If you have a provider relations contact person, not all the insurance companies offer that, but a lot do. or the network management department. And then you would just express your interest in negotiating the rates and ask what that process is and how does it happen. And oftentimes they'll give you a process or procedure how to do that. Often they want you to initiate it in writing and not just call somebody and say, I'd like to do this. So once you do that, once you initiate, I always recommend like calling back later and asking, did you get my letter? What's the status? That sort of thing. I remember when I requested a rate increase from Cigna, nobody got back to me. And it was 30 days later, I marked my calendar, as I said, and called. And they were like, oh, yes, we did get that. We received it. We're going to go ahead and approve it now. So I don't know if it had taken 30 days or if it was just me calling that prompted them to go ahead and push that through. So it never hurts to call. Nobody's going to get upset or say you can't be a provider anymore. They just say yes or no. And it's totally fine to do that. Um, if you'd like a copy of the rate request template letter that I offer to my Bill Like a Boss members, let me know. You can email me at info@kymtolson.com. That's KYMTOLSON.com. And I'll give you a copy of this template that we use. It's got a really high success rate. People rave about this template and say they get raises all the time. So proposal submission, submit the formal proposal that includes your requested rates along with the justification for these rates based on your research and the value that they offer. You can even list it out for each CPT code. So 90837, I want to request this rate. 90834, I want to request this rate. 90853, I want to request this rate. So you can really list that out, how much you want for each and every CPT code that you're going to be performing regularly in your private practice. And then you can use a template to help you craft the letter, or sometimes they have a form you could submit. So when you call provider relations or network management, they'll say, oh, yes, we have a form. You can go download it on the provider portal at this place. And then you could fill that out and enter all the information. And they don't allow sometimes room for everything that we're talking about here, but you can attach an addendum also, sort of building your case. If they don't have anything like that, sometimes they'll just say, here's the fax number. You need to fax it into so and so. And you fax it in. You can use the template I was talking about if you email me, or you can use a form that they might already have and want you to submit. And then, like I said before, after you submit it, mark your calendar or call and make sure they received it and ask what the status is. So it could be 30 days later, 2 weeks later, whatever you want. Just make sure you mark it on your calendar and you don't forget to follow up. And then during negotiations, this is pretty obvious, but just want to point it out that you need to be professional and persistent. So you don't want to call up and say, look, I've called 3 times. Nobody's giving me an answer. You don't want to get upset about it. Just negotiations take time and you might need to just keep following up regularly. That's why I just say mark your calendar, have the phone number, have all the information so you don't have to go look it up every time, and just pick up the phone and call. Keep the communications professional and focused on the value you bring to their members. And then flexibility. So be open to compromise. So you might submit a rate increase request and they might come back and say, okay, we can give you the 90837 at that rate, but we're going to have to decrease your 90834 rate. Or we're going to have to pay less for your intake, but we'll give you more for 90837. So sometimes they'll do that. I've seen that a lot of times. They'll come back sort of with a compromise. I would say just assess it. If that new lower rate is the CPT code that you do all the time, I would definitely call back and say, no, I need you to negotiate this at the opposite. Like I always do 90834s. I need that one to be a better rate than the 90837. So you can try to negotiate that way. But again, keep it professional and follow up regularly with that stuff. If you have questions about this, let me know. You can join Bill Like a Boss for more tutorials like this. We do tutorials like this all the time. I just presented the same thing in our Friday live where I just hop in for 15 or 20 minutes to do a quick little lesson to help with different things. So I hope you found that helpful. Again, I'm Kym Tolson. I offer an insurance billing community for therapists that want to learn how to bill insurance in their private practice without the help of billers or anything like that. It's a monthly membership. We have a live billers meeting every single week with myself and 2 certified billers who are also therapists and group practice owners. They're amazing. And we also have a private Facebook group. We have a training hub with over 45 training videos to help you in your private practice. And if you need any help, you can reach out to any of us. We'll hop on Zoom with you. we'll look at the back end of your EHR and we'll try to help you figure out any claims issues or just how to even get started with filing your claims. We're here to help. Feel free to message me. Feel free to subscribe so you can get more content like this and let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Okay. Have a good day.